I've got underachievers written down in this next little
Okay.
segment. So, first of all, you can tell me whether my premise is correct or not. Am I being fair in calling these clubs underachievers? And then I'd like to get your takes on them. So, I've
Mhm.
got Norwich in 13th as an underachievement last
Mm,
season. I've got Stoke in 18th, but rinse repeat for the last 7 years
yeah.
or whatever.
Yes.
And your beloved Hull in 21st. Before we go in, um, do you agree that I've got them pegged all right as underachievers that should all be higher or much higher this season, shouldn't they?
The Norwich and the Stoke one, absolutely yes. Yeah, very much so with those two. Hull City, I've got a yeah. I mean, they are very much a head scratcher, I think, because where they if, do we say that if they finish mid-table, that's where they should be? Because I think they showed in fits and starts last season what they had about them on the back foot completely with completely the wrong managerial appointment at the start of last season. We all discussed in depth about Liam moving on and what the ownership wanted with regards to the style of football. He's obviously gone off and done tremendously well on the continent. Not saying that that's
Unhelpful that for Mr. Illa Charlie, yeah.
exactly. I suppose, yeah. Ajahn looking at that going, please be rubbish, please. Oh, no, it's not. Well, but obviously, as well, it's different sets of circumstance. It's funny that because it's not necessarily a straight line between manager leaves one club and does better with another. Oh, therefore, that it's all the manager.
But
Well,
you know
no,
how it looks, though, don't you? And
exactly,
perception
exactly.
is reality sometimes, isn't
Correct,
it?
correct. And it's a stick to beat the owner with when you bring someone in with the great respect at the start of last season that no one had heard of, and it didn't turn out right. Ruben, I thought. Um,
I liked him.
I did, yeah, and not did I do, and I think there's a very, very passionate, hard-working, committed coach there. Not saying that they shouldn't be prerequisites anyway, but it was a tough task when he'd been brought in. It progressively got tougher because of how kind of concertina that bottom portion of the
Yeah,
championship
and look
was.
at what Oxford and Pompey and
Yeah,
Derby, that didn't make life easy, did it?
no, not at all, not at all. And I think you look at how it ended, and maybe it's damning them with faint praise of saying you stayed up, but it was almost literally because there were three worse teams. Now I know that's me mansplaining relegation. That's how. And I'm trying to think if having been in that position, if I was Hull City, I would not care one job. Don't care because it's that last day of the season. Everyone's checking the phones, going, "Oh Christ, they've scored. They're not scoring. Where are we? What are we doing?" So you do celebrate, and absolutely right, because it's a long old slog. So I don't quite know where they fit at the moment. I don't. Again, you've got newbies as well leading them into another season. Norwich, absolutely, absolutely. I'm intrigued to see what Liam does with this set of players because I thought he did a wonderful job overachieving with Bristol City again with the
Very
great.
good. Yeah,
That
very
is,
good.
that's it. That Bristol City feels to me like a big club in waiting because of where it is geographically and also because of how it's set up, the financial model, obviously with the Lansdowne family and how that's built. And Stoke City, it's just, I mean, for a team that, and this, I mean, Stoke fans won't welcome this at all, for a team that seems so resolutely part of the Premier League furniture to the point where I won't say boredom set in, but almost kind of itchy feet set in. It was almost akin to, all right, so this is all we are now, just a mid-table Premier League team. When you look and you go, wow, I mean, you'd kill for that now. Given the fact, is it every single season since the drop down, they've not finished in the top half, which I think is it's a genuinely shocking statement. That, given how financially robust that football club is, and the players that have been in and through. So yeah, I would absolutely agree with those. And given season before last, Norwich City's end, where they um, finished in the playoffs, were put to the sword by Leeds, made a very swift managerial change. That didn't work. They feel like they need to be making up for lost time, which I'm sure to an Ipswich Town fan ears is music.
I I like what they're doing this summer
Mm.
though. It feels like they had a manager that
Yeah,
was kind of didn't quite have the balance right, and he
yeah,
had some very good attackers. And I'm sure
mm.
you loved covering them because you knew
Yeah,
you're going to get Science and Sargent and goals.
yeah.
And okay, probably one or other or both of those
Mm.
might be solved, but feels like the manager solves that problem, and they've got some very good youngsters in, and not. I do think Sunderland is an outlier, but a lot of people are going to look at that and think, okay, recruit that way, play the long game, the long time horizon, and I wouldn't be surprised if they were, at least top 10, top 8, and looking at playoffs again, Norwich.
Yeah, and that's bouncing between the two divisions. That's what they should be built for. I think, was it potentially Stuart Webber a couple of seasons ago when he was talking about being in the top
top 23.
23. A good maths there for me. Which I could see what he meant. I mean, it's a bit corporate football.
It's horrible,
speaking.
Isn't it? But it's true.
Yeah, because if you're a Norwich fan, you're going, yeah, but if we're 21st, that still means we're in the Championship for now. So there's a little bit of...
Oh, mate, when Ipswich were stinking it out under Marcus Evans, all I wanted was to be a parachute team in the Championship. Never mind the Premier League. Do you know what I mean?
Give me the yo-yo.
Yeah, exactly. I'll take it. Sorry, carry on.
Like West Brom were for quite a while, weren't they? But I can see that. Signs hit the ground running last season and obviously found himself in a spot of bother, which kind of seemingly curtailed it. And I think Josh Sargent, a fit and firing Josh Sargent, is up there with. You're looking at one of the most kind of fit. Is fierce on the word? Well, I'd say one of the best number 9 centre forwards in the Championship, very much so. When he can play, obviously, the team that had Pookie, and he had to kind of operate a little bit around the main man, which is how that works. But he's got a chance now. A nice clean season, and again, this might be moot if he gets on his bike and leaves. A nice clean season of fitness. I think you've got someone there who can lead a promotion charge, very definitely.
Yeah, very, very much so. Get your thoughts in the comments on whether I'm being unfair there with underachievers.
Thank you for watching this clip, and please check out the full interview, which will be live this Sunday morning. It's fascinating.